Denise, you've got a role that is heavily focused on building new products at NBCU, focused a lot on data. Tell us about what you're building.
Sure. So at NBCUniversal, we're focused on building out the Audience Studio, which is our suite of data activation products, which include everything from Audience Targeting Platform, or ATP, which helps our clients optimize their broad reach linear campaigns, all the way across to going to one-to-one targeting, whether it's through social sync and our social platforms, or our NBCU Plus, which is our addressable product.
Okay. So across that spectrum of product, a lot of different use cases. Let's maybe break down the different pieces.
Sure.
Let's talk about linear first. With all the data you're aggregating, how is that being applied? How are you guys at NBCU using all the new stuff you're building?
Sure, there's a tremendous amount of data. So when we look at linear first, it's, as I said, our audience targeting platform, or ATP. We're actually ingesting the Comcast set-top box data, which we're able to then use against target audiences, which are defined by our advertisers, and then we're able to optimize their media plans across our full set of programming and premium content.
Yeah. How often is that type of opportunity being taken advantage of? Is that something that the market is ready to use?
Yes, so we launched this originally in last year's Upfront, so this is our second year using ATP. We've seen the amount of budgets that are getting optimized double. We've seen a tremendous increase in clients, and we've also seen almost all of the clients we had in year one come back for more. So we're definitely seeing a lot of uptake. It's been in somewhat of a limited release up until now, but as we build the product out and we're scaling the product, and we're now also guaranteeing on audience as opposed to Nielsen, where we've rolled this out to more clients this year.
Talk about that more, the guarantees on audiences. Is that instead of Nielsen? Is it with Nielsen? Is it a combination? And how are you defining those audiences? Is that up to the marketer?
Sure. So the audience segment is defined by the marketer. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to work with them to really understand what their audience needs to be, but they define the audience. And last year we continued to guarantee against Nielsen because that's what they were used to. But we didn't know what we didn't know. It was our first year in market, and now that we're seeing how this scales and the benefits that it's providing to our advertisers, we're standing behind the audiences that we're promising, and we know that we can deliver them across our portfolio.
Yeah, and how much of this goes across screen, if you will, as well, beyond the set-top box into other forms of distribution, more digital or IP-based distribution points?
Sure, so we have a lot of different products within the Audience Studio, and today they are all fairly siloed. So when you're using ATP, that is for linear. When we're using NBCU Plus, that's for addressable into the set-top boxes. And then of course we have our linear programmatic platform, so NBCUX, and we also have NBCUX for digital. So right now when you're using one of those products, you're delivering into a singular platform. But what we can do for our advertisers is if they decide to target a specific audience, we can go and find that audience and deliver it through the individual platforms. Over time, we're building the connective fiber so that we can do that in a more seamless process. That's going to take some time. In addition, the agencies really aren't buying in that way today. The buying for addressable is typically in a separate group, a separate budget than what we're seeing for buying of linear.
Yeah. Talk about addressable. Is that a pretty hot product for you guys right now?
It is. There's a lot of demand for addressable in the market today. Obviously, as Comcast, we have tremendous reach into the Comcast footprint. One of the challenges that we hear from our advertisers, which is not specific to NBCU but across the industry though, is scale. Because anytime you develop a specific target and then you're going into a specific set of households with an MVPD, you need to be able to provide that at scale. And we feel, given the Comcast footprint, we can do that better than anyone else.
Yeah, great.